If you can increase the travel business just by 10%, you're going to have jobs that you're looking for. But at the same time, there are countries all around the world that are doing different things. For instance, you go to Singapore. In Singapore, the highest unemployment rate at the height of recession was only 3.3%. Why? Because if you're going to lay off the person, the government will then subsidize that person while still working there. They can take any other trade. They can get trained. So what happens is the company that is there will keep a look on him that he's getting trained, that their money is,
Well, they're investing in people, right? In their skills.
They call it keep workers working. Mm-hmm. In Australia, it's the kids that get a break. In Australia, folks, they don't have the tax rate based on how much you make. The tax rate is based on how old are you. They don't want you to tax too much till you're 25. Then when you're 25, they want to tax you more. Between 35 and 55, they tax you much more. And then after 55, then they start taxing you less.
So like in your peak earning years, that's when you're taxed the highest.
That's right.
But not when you're starting out and not when you're getting ready for retirement.
Precisely. In Canada, what they're saying is put taxes on consumption. Don't put taxes on working. Let people work, and they can keep the most of their money. So there are plenty of ideas abound to create those jobs. And I really wish President Obama should take some of these projects, not all of them, but some of these projects are doable, really.
I know everybody has experienced something like this. You come back from a professional conference, you have a stack of business cards that you keep in your bag or you stick in your desk, and when it comes time to figuring out, now who is this person? I don't remember. It gets so confusing. You pull those cards out later and they really don't mean much to you unless you take really copious notes on the back.
Yes.
But may not need to do that much longer because there are a lot of technologies out there that are making these business cards, the physical cards, almost paperless. We've got people now using their iPhones, their smartphones to exchange information. If you have LinkedIn, you can do kind of a digital business card exchange. There are several websites that are trying to develop new technologies for this. Newer sites are called Hashable.com, Contexts, About.me. All of these sites are making it easier for people to exchange relevant information without having to exchange the paper. And that way, if you're in a busy situation, you can just make a note of this, and it doesn't require you digging through the cards a few months later trying to figure out who you met and who you want to call to follow up.
Yep, and that card can have a description.
It can.
So the person who's receiving it will know what it's all about.
So the only downside was expressed that there's certain status you get from having a company card, especially people like having that logo saying, like, this is what makes me official, legitimate, right, that I am employed and that I'm associated with this group. So there's still, I think we're in the in-between phase where some people will not want to yet give up the prestige of having that card. But in the technology sector, they're kind of skipping it and moving right to the technology.
Fantastic. So is Brown University, by the way, folks. Brown University is asking the incoming class of the medical students, you will need an iPad. Some of the medical books are pretty heavy, as much as 5 or 10 pounds. And what is occurring is people are buying this second-hand or third-hand or fourth-hand or fifth-hand because some of these books are the most important books you need to become a doctor. Well, there's a technology called Inkling. What they have done with the textbooks is they made it in a 3D format. So not only you get the instructions in the classroom, but you can actually point it, touch it, and it'll ask you questions, and you can answer it. It's like an interactive book.
Wow.
Publishers are on board because, publishers, folk, don't make any money if you're going to do second-hand, third-hand, fourth-hand. So they're on the hook, and so are the writers. Because writers, you sell a book, they get paid. They don't sell a book, they don't get paid. But this is like an app. So it expires. It's only for 12 months.
Oh, that's the
It
trick.
expires. The new student buys it. So it is a continuous one, which is really nice. But I like another technology as well. You know, I don't know if you've ever heard of Khan Academy. Khan Academy is online. And it's very short programs, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and so on and so forth. So the new program is that on the monitors, you will have Khan Academy teaching a class. And then teachers, after it's over, that lesson is over by Khan Academy, teachers will then talk to the students, get them excited, if they have any questions, and then they'll go back to any problem that they didn't understand. So the teaching becomes online, but with the help of a teacher. You know, so teachers don't lose their positions, and at the same time, teachers don't have to be so much on the ball. You know, I mean, they can relax and actually make sure their job is to get these students excited, talk about it, and learning is done through online. It's a great model.
I think that we're headed in that direction with blended learning, right? So it's not entirely in-person instruction, nor is it entirely online or electronic instruction, but having the best of both. So the interaction that you get with a teacher and students in the same space, you just can't beat that. That happens in person. But the actual content can be delivered, even in a very dynamic way, electronically. You don't have to give the same lecture over and over and over again, right?
And at the same time, if they can fix it with this inkling technology, folks, then in that case, a student can ask a question by touching it. You know, just like the McDonald's comes out, you touch a hamburger, it says $2.50. You touch here, it'll ask your question. And so the students can learn. It's very, very nice, just like a video game, I guess. You know?
I just can't imagine a college campus without students like hunched over with heavy backpacks full of books. Instead, they're kind of skipping around because all they need is their iPad and maybe a pen, and that's it. They're free.
That's it. They'll be free, so they can be excited by these teachers.
Everybody knows that a college education is increasingly expensive, and this piece in the Washington Post is about upper middle class aspiring college students who are making very different choices than they might have about 10 years ago. So whereas before, when you had families with like six-figure incomes, they would be willing to get their child into the best school possible based on that student's grades and how well they did on their tests, and then find a way to pay for it. Like whatever the most prestigious institute they can get in, we'll find a way. And now they're beginning to question, you know, $50,000 a year, even for a family that's doing pretty well, is a lot of money. $200,000 for a college